On World News Tonight this Thursday, the most dangerous terrorist in the world, the man the U.S. blames for the embassy bombings in Africa, speaks for the first time since the attack. An ABC News exclusive. A tragic accident on Christmas Eve. A bus slides off a highway, killing several people. We'll take a closer look at the power of Christmas. Some places it's been a struggle to celebrate at all. And the right way to do business in the holiday season.
ABC News World Headquarters in New York. This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Sitting in tonight, Charles Gibson.
Good evening. The winter weather is again a major story tonight. Snow, ice, and cold are making for difficult travel all over the U.S. Holiday travelers, frankly, have faced a mess. There have been major airport delays. And in the state of New Jersey, police are investigating whether snow on a highway may have been a factor in the crash of a tour bus that killed at least 8 people today. Here's ABC's Mark Mullen.
The bus was on its way to Atlantic City when the driver lost control. It plunged through a guardrail and rolled down an embankment. Some of the 22 passengers were thrown from the bus before it stopped.
We have a lot of severely injured people.
Many of the injured waited hours in frigid temperatures to be extricated, including one passenger who was trapped beneath the bus. Though snow had fallen overnight, officials say that stretch of the New Jersey Turnpike had been plowed. They are investigating why the bus went off the road. In other parts of the nation, it was sometimes difficult to keep roadways clear. In Washington, D.C. and in Washington State, rain is common in Seattle, snow is not. Ice was the big problem in many cities, including Nashville.
It was just crazy with people trying to go up there and nobody was able to make it up the hill. When they would get up there, they'd stop and they'd start sliding back into other cars.
Forecasters are calling for snow in many U.S. cities on Christmas Day. Mark Mullen, ABC News, New York.
In the Gulf of Mexico tonight, a few miles off South Padre Island, there is a giant ship that no one wants, but it is causing quite a bit of controversy. ABC's Steve Osunsami reports the Delta Pride and its crew are some of the latest victims of the economic crisis which is hitting so much of the world.
The Delta Pride is out of fuel, out of money, and out of places to go. The ship had been held for 5 months in a Mexican port while authorities there tried to get the owners to pay their bills. The crew, with little food and water, made a run for it.
And eventually, we decided to come to U.S. water to save our life.
The 23 sailors on board ran out of fuel 3 miles off South Texas and are now surviving on donated food and water. The U.S. Coast Guard says the 26-year-old ship is not in safe enough condition to enter a U.S. port. The owners are Pakistanis who say they went bankrupt because of the world economic crisis and cannot afford to repair the ship.
We want them to take responsibility, assume financial responsibility for the vessel. If they're unable to do that, I'm not sure where they're going to go from there.
The Pakistani company responsible for this freighter owns 5 others, and the entire fleet is stranded at sea. Each vessel is anchored off the coast of a different continent, and all of the ships are staffed with crew members who haven't seen a paycheck or their families in more than a year. Shah Jahan Khan is a machinist with a 2-year-old son he barely knows.
Nighttime I sleep, I'm too much tired. My bed.
The same thing is happening to other crews on other ships. A team of Russian sailors stranded off the coast of Scotland, a Greek vessel languishing near Brazil, and a multinational crew whose Chinese owner abandoned them in Hong Kong harbor. The shipping industry says there are too many freighters and not enough cargo. This year alone, 35 abandoned ships called authorities for help. In the end, the Delta Pride may have to be seized and sold for scrap. But it's all the crew has to hold on to. And many of them say they might refuse to leave unless someone comes up with enough money to pay their overdue salaries and send them home. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, near South Padre Island, Texas.
On the money tonight, income and spending. Personal income rose 0.5% in November, and that's the biggest gain in 9 months. Spending rose just 0.1%, but that followed a big gain in spending in October. But of course, what everyone wants to know, how much are Americans spending at Christmas? Well, final figures aren't in because American Express says half of us don't finish our Christmas shopping until today, Christmas Eve. But it is possible to report that some categories of goods have been winners, some losers. Here's ABC's Morton Dean.
Shoppers are paying a lot of attention to housewares.
Actually, bring me a teal.
And home furnishing, to jewelry, and various computerized items, especially Palm Pilots.
They're the hottest product out there right now, and they're selling like crazy.
A terrific season for Palm Pilots and palm tree lamps.
I think it's because it's a jungle theme. A lot of things this season are doing well for us in the jungle theme.
Jungle theme or not, it's been a huge holiday for home gifts. Practical items.
We're doing very well with fabric-covered boxes, placemat, vinyl, wipeable, a little microwave, the microwave, and heaters and humidifiers.
Anyone anxiously awaiting a luxury gift should not despair. Jewelry stores have also been very busy. What's selling in this jewelry store?
Diamond earrings, Rolexes, high-ticket items.
And an old favorite among fabrics emerged again this Christmas.
Cashmere sweaters, cashmere gloves, cashmere scarves at all price points and wonderful colors.
Trendy clothing, including polar fleece sweaters and jackets, heavily promoted by specialty shops, were bigger hits.
The biggest surprise for us probably really has been the fact that the specialty retailers continue to take a lot of market share from others.
Shoppers were less interested in athletic shoes this year. Mass-marketed toys were off, except, of course, for this well-known creature. Heavy clothing was ignored till this week, colder weather arriving just in time to provide an incentive for shoppers who were running out the clock. It starts again Saturday, returns and sales making the days after Christmas one of the biggest shopping periods of the year. Morton Dean, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, Christmas being celebrated around the world, celebrated in some places you wouldn't expect.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, brought to you by T. Rowe Price.
I always liked building things. I built my first skyscraper when I was 7. Today, what I want to build most is a secure future for my son. So I took a few steps and called T. Rowe Price, the no-load mutual fund people. They have all these planning kits. You see, I prefer to do my own investing. Look, I've always been good with kids, even really big ones.
For over 50 years, we've been helping people invest with confidence. T. Rowe Price.
How are these? Bigger. This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million. Bigger. The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now, bigger than ever.
Gosh, you know, I just went to use the phone. You say once you got back, your wife was gone.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
What?
Have you checked the hot enchilada?
Oh, no. Millicent gets terrible heartburn.
Not this time.
What's that?
Looks like the remains of an individually wrapped Pepsid AC chewable.
Introducing Pepsid AC Chewables, the first chewable to stop heartburn before it starts.
Millicent? Is that you?
Start living heartburn-free with new Pepsid AC Chewables.
Tonight we're going to take a closer look at the power of Christmas all over the world. It is already Christmas in much of the world. Pope John Paul II celebrated midnight mass tonight in St. Peter's Basilica. Santa Claus made an appearance in Baghdad this morning. There are several 100,000 Christians in Iraq. And in Cuba, they are starting over. Fidel Castro outlawed Christmas 3 decades ago. This year, of course, the Pope came to Cuba, and now Christmas is a national holiday again. As ABC's Deborah Amos reports from Havana, Cubans are rediscovering the power of the holiday.
Cubans jammed Cathedral Square and joined in Christmas prayer and song. Even this holiday jazz concert began with the music of a Catholic Mass. Christmas is back, and Cubans are freer than ever to celebrate not just at home, but in public. But Christmas cannot change certain economic realities. While the government lowered prices on the holiday's traditional food, even Christmas decorations are too expensive for the average Cuban family. These trees are only for the tourists.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way.
And Cuban children who are just learning the Christmas traditions already expect something more.
And I will ask Santa Claus to bring me a beautiful Barbie.
Nintendo. Toys that aren't available in Cuba, but brought here by those who have Cuban-American relatives.
There is more now the risk of turning Christmas into more of a business kind of thing.
It's not exactly what church leaders had in mind. This week, the Archbishop called on Cubans to remember the religious meaning of Christmas